Hello everybody, welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name is Chris, I'm your coach and sports therapist, and in today's video we're going to be talking about my up and coming race nutrition. So everybody loves a delivery date. I have a brand new order just here from Maurten. Now the reason why I went with them is not only are they the Ironman nutritional provider for the Ironman UK races. Unfortunately, I don't know if they are worldwide, but certainly in the UK, they are their gel provider after taking over from kind of Power Bar and then SRS Nutrition in more recent years. Now, what got me kind of going, if you will, in regards to being interested in their products is the fact that the work that they did with Nike in regards to the 2-hour marathon and that sports science documentary in regards to breaking the 2-hour marathon kind of run. That kind of really kind of got me interested in that kind of product and their company as a whole. And it's kind of like I really kind of want to put it to the test on how good they are. Another reason why I've kind of looked into their nutrition and what they're about is the fact that all of their products are made with kind of natural ingredients, and they don't add anything into their products. Now, in my most recent Ironman, I ended up getting kind of stomach issues. Not too sure whether it was the nutrition, but more than likely was kind of waste in the sea and kind of pollution in the sea, which gave me a bad stomach. But that kind of like really ruined kind of my stomach for 3 days during the race and afterwards, which left me kind of in bits and on antibiotics. Now, because of that experience, it's kind of led me down this road where I kind of really want to hone in on that nutrition. I want to avoid anything like that ever happening again if I can. So it's kind of led me down to this brand. Now, they've created something really interesting off the back of basically what a lot of food companies already use, and it's called a hydrogel. Now, it's widely used in the food industry, and it's often used as a thickener for, or kind of like thickening out food so they can add things to it. And similar to what they've done with it, they've used it as a biopolymer, if you will, and it's a water-based structure that has very small pores at a biochemical level. Now, this is kind of a three-dimensional network, and it's basically allows this product to kind of attain and hold water, a bit like a kitchen sponge. And then what they've done is added natural food ingredients to this biogel, this hydrogel, and allowed it to kind of be a transportation device for energy sources like carbohydrates. Now, what's really interested in this is it kind of bypasses the acids in the stomach, holding on to the carbohydrate kind of molecules, if you will, and allows it to go to the intestines and absorb at a much higher concentration than most other water-based gels, for example, where they kind of degrade and get destroyed by and broken down by the stomach acids. Now, the gels and the drinks sources, so if I open up this bad boy and get all this stuff out, so I kind of went a bit crazy because I really want to test this out and kind of go all in, if you will. So I've got the gel 100s to test out first. I bought the drink mix 160s, which I'll go on about in a minute. I bought some of the solid food base, so the solid 225 and the solid 225C. So I got my mix pack here just to kind of test out both bars, if you will, so I can see which one I like more, or just to have a bit of variety, if you will. And then I went with their transition kit just to kind of clean up my transition, make it a little prettier, if you will, and kind of get a lot of stuff. So initially, sort of inside the transition kit, if you will, you've got these little gel packs that you can store all your nutrition in to make it cleaner in your transition bag, which I thought was a great idea, seeing as I'm going to be doing a lot of transitions this year. Normally I kind of just store it in my shoe, but they end up kind of getting thrown around and so on and so forth. I've even had one gel in one race kind of get trodden on inside the bag by other athletes. So the fact that it's in a kind of a self-sealed silicone bag is going to make it a little bit nicer, so then if anything does happen like that again, it won't be all over my shoes like it was before. So it comes with two little gel bags, if you will, two kind of individual towels for your feet, and then one for your body. Now these type of things are really good for coming out of sea. I'm a massive fan of microfiber towels, because they're super absorbent. They can get in the nooks and crannies of your feet. And then what I also tend to do is I get a bit of baby powder and like talcum powder, and I just finish off the job just between like kind of the ins and outs of your toes, and then I slide on a pair of socks. Most of the time I don't tend to wear socks on the bike, for example, but this year just gone, I had a brand new pair of Specialized S-Works road bike shoes, the S-Works 7, and because I hadn't fully broken them in by race day, I decided to wear socks for the first time, but generally it's kind of like sockless until the run. So these towels are going to be really good for that. And then it comes with two 750ml bottles, which obviously I'll use plenty throughout my training and potentially race days. Now that's in the transition kit, which I wanted just to kind of keep things nice and clean and tidy in regards to transition. And then what I also ordered was, initially I ordered two smaller bottles just for training, just because I find them easier getting them in and out of the bottle cages. And if you're going for little runs or short kind of distances, it's nice to have a smaller bottle, I find. Now, because I'm doing all of the Ironman races, or in fact just doing one is all you need, I bought from their website directly, and because I'm an Ironman athlete, I was able to get in 10%, so I saved what, 18 pounds something, 19 pound from my order, just from ordering them, and I also had a free bottle. Now what they do is, because they're trying to be green and good for the environment, they ask, like, do you really need this? In this circumstances, I was already going to buy two, so for example it saved me another £4.50 not buying another bottle, so that was great. Now I don't know if that's because I spent over a certain amount or not, or if that's just a free feature, but it's definitely worth checking out and kind of getting a nice bottle at the end of it. But what I'll do is I'll do you another video reviewing these products, like the gel 100s. This is the normal version, it's not the caffeinated version. However, I will be trying those if these go well. What I found in the past is kind of caffeine gels really upset my stomach. The first time I had one was an SIS nutrition caffeine gel, and it literally made me throw up a couple of minutes after taking it, so I've never taken them since. So it's kind of really interesting, because these are said to be pH sensitive hydrogels, which avoid those kind of upset stomachs, which is what I kind of really want. Now the good thing about the drinks is basically, like I said, about that kind of hydrogel support system that carries and transfers past the stomach acids and getting destroyed and so on and so forth. What happens with this is with the drink mix, so they do a 320 and a 160, which is basically exactly what you think it is. It's half the drink mixture. Now, for the 360, for the 320 even, you pretty much get, now if I find the exact on their website, so this is pretty much all on their website and their innovation, so by all means check that out in the link in the description. I'll place that all there and you can have a massive read, but it contains nearly 14% or 80 grams of carbohydrates when mixed with water. That's almost twice as much energy ever thought possible in a sports drink, which is massive, because if you're like me doing long distance triathlons, so Ironman triathlons, then you're going to need those kind of carbohydrate mixes and those electrolyte compounds in your drinks that are pretty much getting into your system. Now, I know a couple of athletes and followed a couple of athletes on Instagram that literally just used Maurten for their nutrition. They had no other nutrition. They literally used a couple solids, mostly gels, and then they had their drink mix on their bike and one on a run. I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, so I'm really interested, because if I can nail this nutrition and also maximize my performance, which is the goal, it's, in my opinion, well worth the investment and the cost that comes with these, because in all honesty, they're not the cheapest brand, but if I'm a firm believer and I want to go more down the route of healthier, more natural, sustainable foods, then this is going to be the brand for me, in all fairness. They don't add any artificial flavors or preservatives, and they're literally there's no colorants or preservatives or flavors added in whatsoever into any of these products. So it'll be really interesting in learning what it tastes like. If it's said to be tasteless, it should be really interesting. Now, where the drink mix happens and where it becomes the hydrogel is not when it mixes in water, it's when it actually reacts with the stomach acid in your stomach. Now, I find that really interesting, and the way it works, if I could find here, it's basically it's a much smoother transportation of the carbohydrates through the stomach to the intestines, where the carbohydrates are absorbed, like I said earlier. Now, where the drink changes massively is when you mix it with water. You have the liquid sports drink containing a high concentration of carbohydrates. The drink instantly converts into hydrogel in the acidity of the stomach, encapsulating the carbohydrates. The hydrogel then enables a smooth transportation of the sports drink through the stomach into the intestines, where the water, salt, carbohydrates are all absorbed, making it what sounds like the perfect sports drink. Whereas a lot of the carbohydrates drinks, for example, way back when I did my first ever 70.3, it was off the back of no sports nutritional knowledge, and literally going into a race or training race, I was helping out a friend break a world record for the most half Ironman in a month. I didn't know anything. I was like 4 weeks into training for an Ironman. I went out off the back of just giving him company, and I took Lucozade sports drinks, and I had a few gels. Now, after a while, I soon learned that the gels were making my stomach bad, and the drinks, I got sick and tired of drinking orange Lucozade. So I stopped taking on nutrition, but I still had a run to do. So as you can imagine, I learned the hard way. over time then I've found different ways of getting through it, whether that be through SRS Nutrition. Been using them for a while. They seem to have helped a lot, which it'll be interesting to see how well they compare to this brand. But also through a company called Cliff Bars. So I've been using the bars as well as the shot blocks. I tend to go with the tropical one just because it has caffeine in. So I've been getting my caffeine intake through shot blocks, which my stomach kind of tends to settle a lot more than the caffeine gels, which, like I said, I kind of threw up earlier on. So it's going to be interesting to test the Maurten caffeine gels as well, because as a lot of us know through our coffee intake or our tea intake, caffeine is a massive sports performance enhancer. So getting that in on a regular basis when you're training and when you're performing especially is also going to be key to a good race. Okay, so I will put all the links of the descriptions in the bio for this this video. It's only a short one, just to say call delivery day and give you an update on my nutrition. Let me test this stuff out. I'm gonna give a kind of a massive in-depth review of how I find it, whether that be in some cycling training videos or a standalone video itself. But it's a little kind of unboxing video where I can kind of show you the gels, the packaging. It's quite streamlined. And then the drink mix gels come in a little sachet as well. Tells you to mix within a 500 milliliter bottle, which is perfect because it comes in that. But it's nice because you can literally take one of these or pack these in your bags, in your packs, in your bike, and then kind of literally unrip, pour in, and you're good to go on the bike as well. And then what I like about the bars is they're quite streamlined. Now typically these bars, they suggest online to kind of only eat these post training. However, it's going to be interesting to see what they're like during some of these long rides, because they're slightly different to the hydrogels and the drink solutions. But they've got a good nutritional content, and they're kind of made out of kind of seeds. So as far as I'm aware, they're vegan friendly, but by all means check on the website. Yeah, I can't see it on here, but yeah, check on the website just to double check if you are vegan. But yeah, if you have any questions or any examples of what you do for your race nutrition, whether, like, typically for me, I would have one of these drinks every hour, and I would have 2 sources of food, whether that's a gel or a bar, within that same hour, kind of spacing it out either every 20 minutes if I'm kind of really lagging and I kind of need a lot of intake, or typically every 30 minutes I'll be taking on race nutrition. And that's kind of like how I've always based my nutrition when it comes to racing. But please let me know in the comment section how you kind of source yours, whether it's on a similar system, whether it's on a different system. How have you found that? Because as much as I'm putting these videos out, I'm also using it as a learning experience, because I want to get better and I want to improve as much as I want to help everyone else. I can then learn that information from potentially you guys in the comments, and then push it back out to everyone else and see what works for them. Okay, but yeah, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing video for my bike. I'm going to be doing another video shortly about my bike supplies. It's been a great delivery day. I've had all my bike stuff and my nutritional stuff, so by all means check out that video as well if you haven't seen it already. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It does helps grow this channel. None of this is sponsored or paid for. It's just me So by all means, click the subscribe button, give the video a like, and let me know in the comment section any questions, thoughts or feelings, and just let me know what you're doing in your training. All right, have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.